When did getting dressed start to feel so hard? I talk to so many women who tell me the same thing. Somewhere in their late 30s or early 40s, something changed. Getting dressed stopped feeling like a self expression and started feeling like a problem they had to solve. The clothes that used to feel like them suddenly didn't, and the style that had worked for years suddenly felt wrong, and they couldn't quite put their finger on why. If that's you, you are in the right place because today I want to talk about why that happens, why it is not a problem with your wardrobe, and why your 40s, done right, can be the decade that you finally truly dress like yourself. Welcome to Style and Confidence, where transformative coaching meets personal styling for business success. I'm your host, Claire Silk, a transformative life coach and a personal stylist, passionate about helping women like you align your inner worth with your outer expression. Each week, we explore how to build lasting confidence from the inside out so you can show up as your most authentic, empowered self. Whether you're looking to break through limiting beliefs, build authentic confidence and a winning mindset, or create a wardrobe that truly empowers you, you are in the right place. Get ready to transform your relationship with both your mind and your style. Welcome back to Style and Confidence. I'm Claire Silk, confidence, identity and style coach for women who are ready to feel like themselves again. This episode is for you if you are in your 40s and suddenly feel like you don't know how to dress anymore. If getting dressed has gone from something you enjoyed, or at least didn't dread, to a daily source of quiet frustration. Today I want to talk about why this decade is different, why the old rules no longer serve you, and what a whole new approach to style actually looks like. Gosh, 40 is different, isn't it? It's my birthday next month in May, and I will turn 45. And I feel like overnight something changed when I turned 40. And again, in the last 6 months, everything's gone to pot, quite frankly. And there's a lot that needs fixing. But your style is something that is easily solved. Most style advice you might see on social media, in magazines, from influencers telling you how to build a capsule wardrobe, and content you've been consuming for years. It's not designed for you once you hit 40. It's designed for a woman in her 20s or possibly early 30s, at a relatively uncomplicated point in her life. A woman whose identity is still forming. But when you reach your 40s, you have lived, you know so much more about who you are. You've changed, you've gone through things, you've built things, lost things, survived things, and you're not really the same woman who bought that mini dress 10 years ago. You're more complex, more interesting, and more yourself, so much more than you've ever been. But ironically, the fashion industry isn't really pushed towards women over 40, which makes up a huge proportion of society. Your 40s bring a particular kind of identity shift that most women aren't prepared for. I know I wasn't. Actually, I hadn't heard of the term perimenopause until I kind of Googled what was happening and came up with that. Your body might have changed. Your life has almost certainly changed by now. The roles you carry, a mother, professional, partner, daughter, these have probably multiplied. And somewhere in the middle of all of this is the question of who you are and how you want to express that. And this has quietly moved down the priority list. And then one day you open your wardrobe, stand at it, feeling hopeless for 10 minutes and feel completely uninspired. This is not a wardrobe problem though. This is an identity problem, and it's incredibly common. Also, importantly, it's completely fixable. Over time, you've probably come across a huge amount of rules for fashion and style. No horizontal stripes after a certain size. Tuck things in to define your waist. Wear belts, cover your arms. Dress your age. Don't wear short skirts. Don't try too hard. Don't stand out too much. These rules were never really about style. It feels like they were about making women smaller, quieter, less visible and more palatable. But the generation that are now in their 50s and the generation in their 40s are different. And your 40s, if you let them, are the decade when you finally get to stop following all these crazy rules that have been put in place for you, and you can be yourself. The women I work with at this stage of life have a freedom that becomes available to them in their 40s that simply wasn't there before. A willingness to care less about what other people think, and a growing sense of, I know who I am and I'd quite like to start showing that. After very many years of feeling vulnerable doing that. The problem is that freedom without direction can feel a bit chaotic. You've let go of the old rules. You know they're not right, but you don't know what is right yet. You've not found your own rules. So you end up a bit stuck somewhere between who you were and who you are becoming. And so you're wearing clothes that also are stuck somewhere between who you were and who you're becoming. So what if we start again and approach style in our 40s with fresh eyes? To do this, we start with identity, not clothes. Before you buy anything or clear out your whole wardrobe, You need to spend some time with the question, who am I now? Not who you were or who you think you should be. Who are you right now in this season of your life? What do you value? What's important to you? And how do you want to move through the world? When you walk into a room, whether it's a work meeting, a dinner with friends, first date or a school pickup, how do you want to feel? And what do you want your presence to say before you have even said anything? These are not small questions, but they are important ones. And when you can answer them, even a little bit, even imperfectly, your style stops being a guessing game and starts being an expression. You can get dressed so much more intentionally. The second thing a whole new approach requires is an honest look at your wardrobe. There's no need to be ruthless and clear it all out for the sake of it, but look at it honestly. Possibly your wardrobe right now is a bit of a museum, a collection of different versions of you, all hanging around next to each other, but none of them quite telling the story of who you are today. Letting go of what no longer fits you, and I mean that physically and also metaphorically. This is one of the most liberating things you can do for yourself in your 40s. It makes space, literally and metaphorically and mentally. And the third thing, the one most women skip, is the inner work. Style confidence in your 40s is not only about finding the right clothes, it's about deciding that you are worth dressing well. That your body, as it is right now, not half a stone lighter, not 10 years younger, deserves to be clothed with care and intention. That you are allowed to take up space, and that being seen is not something to be afraid of. You can be celebrated. This change from dressing to hide to dressing to express yourself changes so much. And if you're listening thinking, well, yes, I know I need a new approach, but I have no idea where to start, I have a thing for you to do this week. Just one thing. I sound like Michael Mosley now. He was definitely onto something. Sit down somewhere quiet and ask yourself, how do I want to feel when I get dressed in the morning? Not what do you want to look like, but how do you want to feel? Perhaps your alarm could go off and you can lie in bed for just a few minutes thinking about this. Or I tend to do it in the shower. So I get out of bed with my alarm, get straight into the shower, and whilst I'm in the shower, I contemplate what I'll wear if I haven't got it out the night before, and think about what's happening in my day. How do I feel now? And how do I want to feel throughout my day? If you've got a lot of running around to do, perhaps your outfit needs to be practical and also support you in feeling calm to reduce anxiety and stress. If you're giving a big presentation or meeting a new client, you might want to feel confident and powerful. When you've found how you want to feel, try and narrow it down to 3 to 5 words and write it down if you can. Maybe it's confident, elegant and easy, or bold, creative and expressive, or calm, put together and like myself. There is no right answer. Just choose exactly how you want to feel that day. These 3 words are the beginning of your style identity. Everything else, the wardrobe audits, the personal shopping trips, the capsule wardrobe compilations, and establishing your colour palette, all of this comes after that. So start here and the rest will follow. So to bring this episode together, your 40s feel a bit different because you are different. And the style advice you've been given all your life so far was never designed for this version of you. The old rules don't apply anymore, and that's not a problem. Actually, that's freedom. And you need to find your own rules that work for you. What you need now is a style identity rooted in who you actually are. And that begins not with a wardrobe clear out or a shopping trip, but with a simple question. How do I want to feel? So your action for this week is find your 3 words. Start tomorrow. Think about how you want to feel for the day ahead of you and dress to support that. This is where it all starts. To get a head start with your style identity, you can download my Signature Presence Archetype quiz from the link in the show notes. This will help you establish your primary signature presence archetype and help you learn about style and personality traits, psychological patterns, and your next steps relevant to your archetype. And if today's episode resonated and you'd like to go deeper, to actually do this work rather than just think about it, the link to book a free discovery call is in the show notes. We'll talk about where you are, where you want to be, and what working together might look like. And if you know a woman in her 40s who needs to hear this today, please do share this episode with her. It might be exactly what she's been waiting for. I'll see you next week. Thank you for listening to Style and Confidence, where style meets confidence for business success. If you have enjoyed this episode, please share it with a friend, rate, review and subscribe so you never miss out on our weekly confidence-building conversations. You can also connect with me over on LinkedIn as Claire Silk or on Instagram at Silk Style and Confidence for more style and mindset tips. Until next time, remember, true confidence comes from within. Style helps it shine.